Hey everybody, today we have an extra special episode. I'm having a conversation with the Reverend Dr. Lillian Daniel, who is pastor of First Congregational Church in Dubuque, Iowa. In addition to being a pastor, Lillian is also an author. She's written 4 books, Tell It Like It Is, Reclaiming the Practice of Testimony, This Odd and Wondrous Calling, The Public and Private Lives of Two Ministers, When Spiritual but Not Religious Is Not Enough, Finding God in Surprising Places, Even in the Church, and her most recent book, Tired of Apologizing for a Church I Don't Belong to. This is a special episode for me because Lillian is not only a pastor, she is my pastor. She was pastor of the church when I was growing up and was probably the first person to tell me that I should consider a career in the ministry. So I hope that you enjoy our conversation today as Lillian and I discuss the recent tradition of online shopping for Christmas presents.
And it was part of that preparation time of Advent was that you'd think about the people you loved and you would shop for them. But I think that's changed so much. It's become this really stressful thing and people don't want to go out. And so what a lot of us do is we just go online and buy something, and we have this instant gratification. We can get it in a day or 2 days. And I think that's really changed a lot of sort of the spirit of that gift giving.
It certainly can be a good thing to save us time that we can use on other things then. But what are the downsides that you see in that saving time?
Well, for one thing, if I'm doing the online shopping for somebody, I'll sort of accidentally buy myself an Instant Pot, and I don't even use my regular pots. So that's ridiculous, right? So you can just sort of get lost in it and sucked into the consumer vortex. That's one thing. But there was a story in the New York Times recently that was really poignant about these people who work in these warehousing places that get you your gifts, in a day or 2 days. And a woman on the floor wasn't feeling well. She told her boss this, and the boss insisted she keep working, and she ends up dying. And what was so horrible about the story, there were so many sad things about it, but that the company simply put up cones around her, those orange cones on the factory floor, and made everyone keep working. And when I heard that story, I felt so convicted by it. I thought, our desire for instant gratification is not harmless. There is a real downside to it, and people's lives are being changed by that. And how important is it that, somebody I know gets their gift before Christmas or a couple of days later? Does it really matter?
Yeah, that's scary. And I think we often don't think about that, what happens on the other side and what has to happen on the other side in order for us to get those things, that we order as soon as we want them to be here.
Right. And sometimes I'll tell myself, I'm ordering it online because they have more selection, or I couldn't get it here in Iowa. And then the package arrives literally 4 hours later. And so then I know that Amazon just sent my order to some store that I probably could have driven to in 10 minutes and given them my business, right? And so then you think it's gotten ridiculous that we're not having any face-to-face time with each other. So in the end, I think what Advent does, though, is it is this season of waiting. So the irony is we celebrate this season of waiting by getting gifts, but then we're not willing to wait for them. And we demand that they come immediately. So I just think that's a cool thing to talk about in church and to talk about in Advent, is to say Advent's about waiting. So don't lose your marbles if you can't get a parking place, or don't freak out, that the package didn't come. It kind of misses the whole point.